By the end of this video, you'll walk away with 3 practical benefits. First, you'll see the difference between chasing leads and building a sustainable business. Second, you'll learn a few simple ways to find real partners in the California housing industry. And third, you'll have a repeatable follow-up system that can help you turn each of your deals into a steady stream of referrals. These are simple strategies you can use right away to become less dependent on cold leads and to start enjoying the benefits of a business growing organically. Because if growth feels harder than it should, you might need to start carving out time for long-term growth so you don't get stuck chasing leads forever. In the California housing industry, it is easy to stay laser focused on the next transaction. Whether you're an agent chasing leads, a lender waiting by the phone, or a contractor bidding against 10 others, the pattern can look the same. All of your energy goes into making ends meet this month with little thought or effort put into how your business is going to thrive 6 months from now. As you close one deal, you feel that burst of excitement and relief, and then the pressure just comes right back. Because if you haven't built a system or network that gives you regular business, you start each new month right back at zero. Think about a renovation project where a realtor, a contractor, and a lender work with the same first-time homebuyer. There's some coordination among the group, communication is smooth, the client is thrilled, and everyone leaves satisfied. But then nothing. Everyone just moves on for the next lead in the pipeline with no follow-ups or attempts to work with each other again. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been so focused on selling something to the next person that you forgot to stay connected with the very people who just proved they work well with you? Where one good project could have become the start of a reliable pipeline, but instead you just lose touch? This is what happens when we become too focused on the short term and we end up relying solely on one-off deals or one-and-done transactions. The cost of relying on these types of deals is greater than the money we're just spending on ads or the time we spend prospecting. This hamster wheel drains our energy, makes our income less predictable, and leaves us making less money than we should. Industry research backs this up. Data shows that referrals create customers with higher lifetime value compared to customers gained through ads or prospecting. In other words, every time we have to rely on a stranger for business, we end up working harder for less return. But if you've ever worked with referrals before, you probably noticed how different those relationships can be from the very beginning. I met with a couple in Newport Beach for the first time last week and tried to shake their hands as I introduced myself. The wife gave me a hug instead and said, "You're a friend of Jen's, so I feel like I already know you." A small network of consistent partners can generate more opportunities than hundreds of cold calls. At the very least, they can begin to supplement our pipeline with warm referrals that we actually enjoy working with. So how do we make this shift? How do we transform a shaky business that's starting from scratch every month into a more stable business that is being supported by partners in the California housing industry? You start by dedicating time to developing relationships. Here are a few practical tips. Number 1, make a list of people you want a better relationship with. This list doesn't have to be big and doesn't have to be all business. You can add names for clients and businesses you've worked with in the past. You can add names for dream clients or businesses you'd like to work with in the future. And you can add names for friends and family that you just want to keep in touch with. However you make this list, start small and let it grow over time. Number 2, find time throughout the week to call the people on your list. One of my favorite times to call people is when I'm driving. My current commute gives me about 30 minutes per day, which is like 10 to 12 hours a month, to talk to people I like or love while I'm sitting in traffic. Calling while I'm driving means I don't have to take time away from my family or my work. I'm just able to repurpose a dead spot in my schedule to make it more enjoyable and productive. Number 3, have a reason to call. If you're calling your mom, this doesn't apply. She will probably be thrilled that you're calling just to say hi. But if you're calling someone you don't have as much of a relationship with, calling just to say hi is awkward. And if you're only calling to ask for referrals again and again, or asking something like, "Hey, how's your business?" people will stop answering. So just make sure you have a clear purpose before you call. And number 4, repeat this process. Don't expect anything to change overnight, because it probably won't. Relationships grow the same way everything else in life grows, little by little with consistency. Every time you make a call, you're making an investment. Some of these investments will pay off immediately, while most others will pay dividends over the long term. But these investments do have a compound effect, so stick with it. This small tweak to your schedule can be a key difference between chasing deals and building an actual business. Now, dedicating time to long-term growth and building relationships with industry partners means you're no longer just surviving deal to deal. You're making investments that can compound over time. But that raises the next question many professionals deal with. where do you find people to develop these relationships with? As I always recommend, you start with the inner circle of people you already know. Past clients, colleagues you enjoy working with, even friends and family who are connected to the housing industry. This is always the easiest and the best place to start. And from there, you just expand your inner circle outwards to friends of friends. If you know an agent, ask who their favorite lender is. If you know a contractor, ask which designers or inspectors or other contractors they love working with. You can then introduce yourself as a friend, which helps relationships develop more quickly and easily. Next, check out the California Housing Collective. We are a community made up of people in the California housing industry who are looking to work with other people in the California housing industry. There's a link in the description below where you can connect with us and join the waitlist for the community. And finally, you should look for or even create a local industry event. Happy hours, workshops, or coffee shop meetups can be simple ways to bring the right people together into the same realm. Now, over time, these gatherings can become a sort of hub for the kinds of partnerships that can actually begin moving your business forward. And for this last section, I want to talk about putting together a repeatable follow-up system that can turn one good deal into a steady stream of referrals. Because if you put a process in place, one transaction can multiply into several more without the same grind of having to work new cold leads every month. So here's a simple strategy you can use right away. Put together a schedule to follow up with clients and partners, and then just stick to it. A good rhythm is to call 1 week after completing a project, then a month later, and then quarterly until it just doesn't make sense to keep going anymore. This type of consistency will help keep you top of mind as long as you know what you're going to say ahead of time. Like we talked about earlier, you can't just keep asking for referrals every month or throwing out vague questions. Every call should have a purpose. You could be checking in on how a project turned out, you can share an update from your side of the business, or you can try to connect them with someone else who needs help. From there, you take this system, this rhythm, and automate the process as much as possible. Use your CRM or even just your calendar to set reminders so these calls don't slip through the cracks. The more you build this system into your routine, the less effort it takes, and the more opportunities will just start to show up. And remember, these calls, they're not random outreach. They are part of a long-term approach to building a sustainable business. People in the housing industry often get asked, hey, do you know a good agent or a contractor or a lender? And when those questions get asked, you want your name to be the one everyone brings up. This happens when you stay top of mind. And the best way to stay top of mind is to regularly reach out to people in your circle. It's not about calling more people, it's about calling your people more often. And this isn't about adding more work to an already busy schedule. It's about creating and following a better system. Every transaction can feed into a process that strengthens relationships and provides opportunities in the future. Your business shifts from always chasing the next lead to compounding long-term growth. And that is what creates consistency, stability, and bigger results over time. So here's the big takeaway. These one-off deals will keep you stuck in survival mode, always chasing the next lead. But when you shift your focus even just a little bit towards collaboration and long-term growth, your business can start compounding instead of resetting every month. That's how you grow faster, and it's exactly why agents, lenders, and contractors who work together get better results than those who go it alone. Your next step is simple. Start putting these ideas into practice. Make a list of people to call, find the time slots that already exist in your schedule, and figure out why you're reaching out, and then just give it a shot. Start making investments into your business by making investments into other people's lives. And if you're a California housing professional and you're ready to grow your business through collaboration, please just click the link below and join the waitlist for the California Housing Collective today. In the meantime, keep learning, keep building, and keep connecting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.